clock, never needed no wristwatch. Toast up, cheers to life, but this ain't no pit stop. Ayy, my words don't get you to the top. Speak life into the mic like Mike at 90, pass me the rock. The words will touch thousands on the block, without a doubt, but she's a reassurance on me, we lie. Ayy, off the clock, baby, but we tuned in, dialed in. Feel like Cat, how we always winning, man. It's up.
Welcome back to another episode of Off the Clock Podcast. I'm your host, Mark Paz, and today we have yet another interview for you all. But before we get into that, make sure to go follow me on X, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, and they'll all be right here for you all. So y'all go ahead and make sure to go follow me on each one. I'm also doing a 100-day content challenge that y'all should be following, so go ahead and check those out. Make sure to hit the like button too. Also, one thing I want y'all to do, swipe up on this video, click subscribe, hit the bell so y'all get notified for every new interview that pops up for you all. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into this interview. We have an all-conference athlete on our show today, a wide receiver who came from Anchorage, Alaska. When you think about Alaska, you're not thinking football, but this guy had football in his mind 24/7. So with that being said, let's give a huge welcome to Western New Mexico's very own Deuce Zimmerman. Let's get it. Deuce, thank you so much for joining me on today's show. Again, my viewers have noticed that the past few months I've been doing interviews with athletes from other universities, and I'm glad that you're able to join me, and I really appreciate it, man. And so the first one, like I said, usually we start off with this. Just tell us a little bit about yourself and who you are.
My name is Deuce Zimmerman. I'm from Anchorage, Alaska. Biggest city in Alaska. People don't really think about football when they think about Alaska, but there's a lot of sports going on up there. But yeah, I've been playing sports my whole life. Been out here for the past 3 to 4 years in Silver City, New Mexico, at Western New Mexico. Just trying to change the program around. I play wide receiver. So that's all really about me, for real. I just play sports, love everything about sports. So yeah.
And like you mentioned in the beginning, whenever people think about Alaska or Anchorage, Alaska, many people do not think about the sports and stuff like that. So how was it for you growing up in Alaska? How did you end up getting into sports?
So my dad, he's a big football fan. He loves the Packers growing up. So like he was my football coach growing up from kindergarten all the way until 8th grade. And my uncle, he was my basketball coach from 2nd, 3rd grade all the way until end of high school, because he ended up coaching me in high school too as assistant coach. So I always been around football and basketball. My dad was my coach for football. It was always a good thing. It's always been really competitive. I graduated high school, class of 22. That's probably one of the best graduating class out of Alaska history. So like our skill and competition was always good in my grade level. So like it was always a battle every year. A lot of good people come out of Alaska that people don't really know about.
And so was your family originally from Alaska, or did they end up moving there over time?
My mom, she's from California. My dad's from Alaska. And I think military brought my mom's side of the family up to Alaska for sure, because my uncle and my uncles, one of them was born in Alaska, but my other one was born in California with my mom as well. Both my grandparents and my mom's side are from Alaska. So I think military brought him up there for sure.
And football still happened to find its way up there and find its way into your life, man.
Yes, sir.
And so what role would you say that football really played for you growing up? What kind of role did it have in your life?
Football was really life for me, for real. My dad was always a coach. I was always around it, always watching it. So like I was always around football. Like I'm really good with like a lot of stat stuff in football and everything. So like football was always around. So like it was like, I don't know, it's just life for me. That's really it, for real. But I always been around it, always had love for it. So it's just like it's just my passion. I want to go to the highest level. So just my passion, for real.
And what were some of the other sports that you played growing up?
Played basketball. I was actually like, I like basketball more than football. It's just that football gives me more opportunity out of Alaska, because we had like a football camp that 24/7 Sports came to Alaska and did a football camp, and I got ranked. So like I had more opportunity in football more than basketball. But growing up, I like basketball more than football for sure. Like if you ask me about sports and everything, like I'll tell you more about basketball than football, 1,000%. But I love both for sure.
I feel you on that one because at the same time, I loved playing football, but at the same time, playing basketball is actually pretty fun. Whenever you get out there on the court and you start hooping with your boys, I really did. I really did enjoy playing basketball sometimes more than I did football.
Mhm.
And you mentioned that high school was one of your or basketball was probably one of your favorite sports, and you ended up winning 3 state championships during your high school years. Is that correct?
I won, yes, sir. I won 2 football. My junior, senior year, I won basketball, football. Then my senior year, I won football.
How was that experience like? You're playing 2 sports, and you're winning state champs in both of them. How was that feeling like?
It's unreal, especially doing it like with your family and your cousins. It's unreal. In high school, made varsity as a freshman for basketball. Didn't play varsity until junior year for football because situation stuff. But once I got on the field, football varsity at my school, it just clicked. Won back-to-back state championships, was a contributor, played offense and defense for basketball and football. Football, I made first team all conference for football for defense and offense, receiver and DB. Basketball, we were solid. We're tied for the longest win streak in Alaska basketball history with 52. My youngest, just this past season, tied it this year with 52. So we had the longest one in Alaska history. We should have won 4, but we ended up losing on a game winner in basketball my senior year. Heartbreaking, but it happens. I got 3 rings, so I'm happy with that. But it's just unreal because I did it with my 2 cousins and my 2 best friends. We all play together, football and basketball, both sides. So it's just the main core. We contributed to winning 3 state championships back to back. And just doing that with the people I love and I grew up with, there's no better feeling than that for sure.
And were y'all playing sports together the whole time that y'all were growing up?
The whole time. So it was me, my cousin, and my 2 cousins. We did basketball from 3rd grade up. Then I met my best friend Kyler and Darrell. We started playing together 7th, 8th grade for basketball. Then in high school, throughout high school basketball and football, I played with them. So it's always been us 5, and it's just always been we never really lost our whole life until yeah. We was always winning. We was always top dog, so it was always fun, for sure.
And what were some of the numbers that you were putting up in high school basketball? What was that like?
I really played defense. I was one of the best growing up in basketball, but then I started in football more, taking that more serious. So I really played defense. I made second team all state my senior year for basketball, but I really was a defensive person. I averaged 4 or 5 steals a game. My cousin was the #1 basketball player in Alaska. He averaged 17. So and my other cousin, he averaged 14, 15. And then high school basketball, that's pretty good. So I would just really play defense. I didn't really have to score the ball unless I had to. So I was just a defensive guy for real. So it was just fun. Made second team all state for basketball my senior year. So it was cool for sure.
And what is that feeling like? Because I've noticed that you've already said this multiple times that you and your cousins were recognized as some of the best in the state. What is that feeling like? Getting that recognition? What was going through your mind during that time?
It's just unreal. All the hard work you put in from being youngin' to now to getting recognized as being one of the best athletes in your state. There's no better feeling because of all the work you put in that you put in, and it's finally the results are showing. So in all the fan base growing up and stuff in Alaska football, it's always big, especially when East Anchorage was playing, because I went to East Anchorage. East Anchorage is playing, it's going to be a good game. There's going to be top dogs out there, so it's always a movie. So just grinding, growing up and stuff, and just finally seeing the results pay off as being the #1 ranked player in Alaska. There's no better feeling than that for sure.
And you mentioned that you were all state in both wide receiver and DB. What was probably your favorite position to play? I know now you play wide receiver, but what's your favorite?
Wide receiver for sure. I just played defense because I was one of the better athletes, so they just put me out there. I played corner, so corner is actually a really hard position to play in college football. So receiver is definitely. I like scoring touchdowns, so receiver 1,000%.
And what was maybe one of your favorite memories from give me one from football and basketball. What are some of your favorite
Mm,
memories?
Football. So my senior year, we played our rivals, West Anchorage, and in the semifinals, we went to double overtime in the state semifinals to go to state championship. At our home field, we went to double overtime. I was hurt. I had a sprained ankle, played through it, won in double overtime, 34-32. My cousin scored a jet sweep. They got another one for the 2-point conversion. Then he ended up getting game deciding pass breakup to end the game in overtime. So he had 3 back-to-back plays to end the game for us. He had to step up and play Superman 1,000%. That's my boy Demarion, my cousin Demarion. I grew up with him. Love that man.
Man, that probably was an exciting
Nah, for
stadium at that
sure.
time.
Yeah, it was packed. Couldn't hear nothing. Couldn't hear no plays. Yeah, it was bad. But basketball was definitely my junior year. We went. It was COVID, so we only played 20 games. No, we played 17 games. We went 17-0. Had an undefeated season, and it was like during Black Lives Matter movement. We had Black Lives Matter on the back of our warm up shirts, and it was like another school trying to make a big deal about it. And we just like put that past, and we ended up playing them in the state championship. The school that was complaining, and we ended up winning by 25 plus in the state championship game against the team that complained against us. So it's definitely the best feeling for
So
sure.
that feeling was kind of like getting your get back at them.
Yeah, for sure, 1,000%. Yep.
And so this is also I like to talk about because you did graduate 2022. So your junior year was COVID for you.
Yeah.
How did you guys handle that COVID era, that COVID time? How was it for people up there in Alaska?
Oh, it was bad. So it got up to us like later on because we're like not so big in population wise, but summer football. You're not catching footballs. You're just running routes. Have trash bags over your hands to catch passes. Got to wipe down every single football after every single catch. 6 feet. Got to wear a mask. So my junior football and basketball, we had to wear masks under our helmets and on the court for basketball. So like
During games?
during games, yep. We had like the little neck gaiters for football, but basketball we had like the little surgical mask and everything. We had to wear those. So
Oh my
it didn't really
God.
matter because we love the sport. We're gonna play no matter what. So that was just
Yeah.
like a little it was just like a little annoying, but we wanted to play the sport, so we're gonna wear a mask. So yeah. But it was rough for
And
sure.
and did it take because you said it took time away from your basketball season, your junior year. Did it affect
My sophomore year, so that's when COVID happened. So junior year, COVID was already there, but sophomore year actually
okay.
shut down my basketball state tournament. So my sophomore year, we didn't have a tournament at all. So we were favored to win that year too. So I should have 4 rings because I think we were favored to win that year for sure. But
And
yeah,
did it cut
sophomore
into
year.
your junior football season
A little
also?
bit, yeah. We only played like less than 10 games. I think we played 7 games, 8 games total. Like
Mhm.
5 regular season, then playoffs. Just because, yeah, it was bad.
Yeah, because even down here for my high school year, because that was my senior year, whenever after COVID happened, going into my senior year, we only got to play 3, 4 football games,
Yeah.
and that's because I'm down here in Texas, and
Hmm.
we opened up a whole lot earlier, but we
Hmm.
ended up only playing 4, and we practiced from August all the way till the start or halfway through October. We're just practicing the whole time,
Yeah. Damn. Yeah. Feel that. Yeah.
and
Effects.
And so when when did you realize that football was gonna be the sport after or over basketball?
We had a camp, 24/7 camp. Came to Alaska. I won MVP. Got ranked number 1 overall. 3-star athlete. They had some schools hitting me up. I'm like, yeah, I want to do football. Have more opportunities. So 1,000% I'm choosing football over basketball. And I started to love it more than I did basketball because of all the attention I was getting from it. So around my junior, senior year, because that happened my junior year when I got ranked number 1. So my whole senior year, I was ranked number 1. So going into junior year, senior year, I was determined on football 100%.
And at this time, who would you probably give the most credit to helping you out from your youth going into high school and during this time, who would you give a lot of credit to helping you out with?
I would say my uncle and my dad, my uncle Dominic and my dad, for 1,000%. My uncle is number 1 person for basketball in my life, and my dad was number one for football. They always pushed me no matter what. At every single game, pushing me. They knew what I was capable of, and they never let me shy down from it. They always told me that you can't say the word can't. It's not in your vocabulary. So I was always pushed to go no matter what. And them two are definitely like the main two people in my football and basketball like life that always pushed me my hardest, and definitely wouldn't be here without them today. For sure.
And did you always have those talks with them after games about not what you did great, but what you needed to fix and with the
Yes,
things that
sir.
went wrong?
Yes, sir. My uncle was my basketball coach in high school, so 1,000%. We always talked, and we both have great football and basketball IQ, so we know what we're talking about 1,000%. They know what's wrong. They know what we need to do right. My dad texts me to this day after every single game. They need to look at you more. You need to do this. You need to work on your speed. You need to work on your release. So they're always like nagging me 100% every game because they want me to get better, and I need to get better. So they always on me about it for sure.
And what was your recruiting process like? You said at that 247 champ, you got MVP. You're ranked number one in Alaska. What was your recruiting process like?
It was a little slow because of COVID and everything. Everybody got more years and stuff. So I had a Florida Atlantic at a high school. I was gonna commit, but they got a whole new coaching staff. Then COVID happened and everything, so that happened. Then it was a little slow. Then my best friend from high school, he's my quarterback and played on the basketball team with me at East High School too. Kyler, he committed to Western New Mexico first, and we was actually on a camping trip for 4th of July, and he committed. Then I wasn't out of school yet. Then I hit up the coaches more on the camping trip. Then they ended up offering me on the camping trip with him, told me, and I just ended up committing to play with my best friend here. That's how it really went. Just like when I just came along with my best friend, he played quarterback, I played receiver, so we came down together as a duo. I've been here since.
And how's that like? You got a relationship with your quarterback already, going to the same university. How was that?
It was dope for sure. He was my best friend, so it was hard leaving family, but he's my family too. So like it made it a little easier going to school far away from home with someone that I know and that I love as a family member. So it was a dope experience for sure. We already had the connection and everything, so it just made it 10 times like easier.
And you redshirted your first year at Western New Mexico, correct?
Yes, sir.
How was that year like for you mentally and physically for you?
It didn't really take a toll. I felt like I could have played my redshirt freshman year, but we had a lot of older guys because of COVID, and they were like 25, 26-year-old seniors that were playing. Took me underneath their wing. I redshirted, but I traveled every school game, so I went to every travel game. So it wasn't like I was just stuck here on away games and stuff. So I was traveling every game. I suited up every single game. I just didn't play, but I was always ready. My time practice, I was at 2, so I was always practicing with the first O and second O. So it wasn't really a drop off. I was always making plays in practice. So it wasn't really a drop off. My confidence didn't really go down. I knew what I was capable of no matter what. And my older guys that took me underneath their wing, they always knew what I was capable of. They told me that just gotta wait. My time will shine. And that's all I just waited patiently. So didn't really take a toll on me that much.
Yeah, I mean that patience ended up working out. I mean, you started getting some playing time, and this year you had a really good year. You end up being an all-conference player. And how was that for you? Have looking back at this past season and how you did. What are your thoughts about it?
This past season, I made first team all conference, but I'm not satisfied with how I played. I feel like I could have played 10 times better. I started off the season a little slow. I got hurt week 2, week 3, and I missed 2 games. So I feel like if I would have made those 2 games, I would have had way more yards and receiving yards, and I felt like I could have helped my team win a couple more games. But as an overall season, I feel like it was pretty solid. I feel like I could have had a better season. So I'm always shooting for a higher goal. I'm trying to be an All-American next year instead of not just all conference. So I feel like I can have a way better season than I did this past season this year.
And this past season, you had a game where you had 182 receiving yards. That is the third most by an Alaskan at the college level. How did you feel about that moment? Did you know that it happened, or did it take a while for you to learn that?
Alaska, they're really like on their stuff about their college athletes. So if you have a good game, they're gonna recognize you fast. So I think it was we played Saturday. It was that Sunday night. They posted about it. So like they're always on their stuff. Alaska, they always support their college athletes. So they were on it pretty fast. So I found out pretty fast. But yeah, they're always on it for sure.
And coming from Alaska to a D2 at Western New Mexico, you've been grinding this whole time. What is it that motivates you to keep going?
Just my family back home, they always tell me to push. All the freshmen that come in, all the transfers that come in that need help, just seeing everybody around me that wants as much as I do, it makes me want to go 10 times better, 10 times harder. So just the environment, there's not a lot of stuff to do here besides school and sports. So that pushes me. There's no distractions here. So I'm always working hard, always waking up at 5:30 every morning, doing conditioning, going to practice, going to lift. I just always wanted to have it, always wanted to get better. That's my mindset. So I never let it fail me. So I just keep pushing every single day because I'm trying to get better.
I saw this post a few days ago, and it was saying for people to stop, you know, putting these D1, D2, D3, NAIA narratives on players because there's dogs at every level. What is something that people misunderstand about athletes that are at the D2 level or lower?
I don't, everybody's a dog in college sports. If you make college sports, you're a dog in any level. Not a lot of people get the opportunity. So yes, D1, it's a little faster, but I don't think there's really a big drop off in the skill positions. Might up front and on the defensive line, I feel like that's a big difference because they're bigger and they're stronger. But I feel like the skill positions, I feel like everybody's a dog no matter what. So like I just feel like people just thinking because we play D2, we're not as good as D1. I feel like I can go compete in D1 conferences for sure. But I'll be playing the hardest D2 conference. So if you're a dog in this conference, you can definitely be a dog at a lower D1 or FCS for sure.
And now a little bit off the field. How do you manage to balance, school, football, and just finding time for yourself? How do you balance everything?
Our days are really all our football stuff's in the morning. So we after 10, 11, we have the whole day to ourselves. We might have a meeting at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, but from 8 to 11, you're practicing. You probably have class 11. I have all online classes, so it's pretty easy for me. So I just get that done throughout the week, get it done early if I don't got to worry about it throughout the week. But our days are really spacious, and I always have free time to myself because I do online class to get that done early. So I always have time to play some Call of Duty or some Madden or some 2K, Fortnite. I always have free time because I always get my stuff done ahead of time instead of waiting last minute for sure. So like here, the schedule, they space it out like pretty good for us to have our own time and do whatever we want for real.
And when people do catch you off the field, what is it that you're usually doing on your free time? Is it playing games?
Yeah, I'm playing Call of Duty, or we might go hoop at the C-Rec or something at our school with the team. Go play basketball, go get some runs in. By I'm usually playing Call of Duty or something, watching some YouTube, watching podcasts or something for sure.
What are some podcasts or YouTubers that you like to watch?
Kai Sinat, he's in one of the main streamers, but I watch You Should Know podcast with Payne and Cam. They're two pretty dope podcasters. I've watched them a lot. But all the main ones like Cash Nasty, you got the Fight Reacts, you got the Duke Dennis's for sure. All the young guys for sure.
What are your thoughts on Cash finally seeing LeBron?
It made me happy. I almost shed a tear for sure. I've been a Cash Nasty fan since the jump, so I know it's been a cool 9-10 years and him trying to meet LeBron. So it was pretty dope.
Oh, sure. Yeah, man. I remember those days with Cash and watching Too Hype and everybody. Mm-hmm. And I saw the videos of Cash finally meeting LeBron. Like, yeah, it did bring a tear to my eye because you watch this whole process and how much he loved him, and finally he gets to meet him, and that was pretty dope.
It was pretty dope for sure.
And what do you have any routines for game days or anything superstitions? You got anything going on?
Nah, I don't really have none. I just really it just music. I always got to listen to some Young Boy, some Lil Baby, some EBK J-Bo. I always got to get going. I got to get lit before the game with my homeboys. So nothing really like superstitious or anything, but always putting some drip on, listening to some young boy, just getting lit as a whole team before the game. That's what gets me going for sure.
And what's something that you've learned throughout your college career that would probably be something that you stick with for the rest of your life?
Uh, just go getting it. Not everything's given to you, so you gotta have to work for it to get what you want. Not everything's given to you. Yeah, everybody that plays college sports, they're always the man in high school. You come into college, everything balances out. You're gonna have to work for whatever you get. So always pushing yourself and always wanting something. Always pushing yourself. That's what the desire to want for sure to get.
And whenever you're or sorry, whenever you look back at this time in your career, what is something that you might want to tell a younger version of you?
I feel like at the beginning, I really just sat back and just watched. I feel like I should have went harder, 1,000%. Just go harder, not sit back, not be patient. Just go get it because you deserve it. I just feel like just going and get it, push myself a little harder, where I can try to get out instead of sitting back and just watching. I just wasn't always. I was always like the shy kid. I wasn't always the most vocal leader or anything. So now I'm one of the leaders on our team. So I feel like now I'm starting to speak up more, and I'm starting to see a different side of me because people they depend on me. So I feel like now I just got to be a leader. So just being more talkative and everything.
And what is that feeling like? Now that you're realizing that you are one of the leaders for the team and having to be one of the vocal, how is that feeling like?
It feels good. It feels great because people look up to me for sure. But another point is, even though I'm a leader, I don't try to belittle somebody because I'm a leader. I always try to. We're all equal. We're all brothers at the end of the day. So just always trying to be equal towards somebody, even though you're supposed to be a leader. I always try to act like I'm one of y'all, no matter what, because we all bleed the same. We all act the same. We're all here for a reason. So never trying to belittle somebody because you're a leader, even though they want you to be more talkative. I just be chill because we're all the same people. But once it's time to step up, I'll step up and they'll listen to me. So I feel like that's where the respect comes in, and for sure.
And going into the next season, what is something that you're most excited for with you and your team?
I feel like I have another big year coming up. I feel like I have more to prove. I feel like we're gonna have a solid year, solid turnaround. We got some dogs that came in. We got some dogs for sure. And everybody wants to turn it around here in this program. All the players look like they want to turn it around. We're all working together. We're all pushing each other. There's no drop off in reps or anything. So I feel like we're gonna have a solid year for sure.
And last question I got is, whenever your college career is done, what are your plans for after?
I want to try to make it pro for sure, but if that doesn't work out, I want to start my own business, probably some clothing stuff. I got some ideas for that, but just taking it day by day for sure. I got 2 more years in me, so that's a little bit a while ahead. So
Yeah, you still got some time to prove. All right. You still got some time to prove that you can be at the pro level. And trust me, man, I believe you can get there. I I just want you to know, and like I tell everybody, you always got a fan in me, bro. All right. You always
yes,
got a
sir.
fan.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate
No,
you.
bro, I really appreciate you joining. Really appreciate you coming on. I think this coming season, you guys do travel to Tamu, so maybe
Mhm.
then we can uh actually say hi and take a picture together, man. So
Yes,
I'll be
sir.
excited to see you then, bro.
Yes, sir. Nice seeing you. Appreciate this. Appreciate it for sure. Excited to see you for sure.
Yeah, off the clock, never needed no wristwatch. Toast up, cheers to life, but this ain't no pit stop. Ayy, my words don't get you to the top. Speak life into the mic like Mike at 90, pass me the rock. My words will touch thousands on the block. Without a doubt, but here's a reassurance on me, we lie. Ayy, off the clock, baby, but we tuned in, dialed in. Feel like Cat, how we always